Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be walking you through 3 things you must have if you're starting an agency and want to get to $10,000 per month. In this video, I'm going to run you through the 3 most important things to client acquisition for your agency. If you don't have these 3 things, you won't be able to acquire clients. If you have them, you will. It's very simple. I'm going to talk about first principles. This is not a shiny object syndrome video. There's no software. I'm not going to try and sell you anything. I'm just going to walk you through 3 things you need to have that, if you have them, make building an agency significantly easier. I know this because I've done it myself. My name's Charlie Morgan. I've built and scaled my own agency to $100,000 a month with at a peak 64 done for you clients, and now I have a $500,000 a month high-ticket coaching consulting company that's a similar sort of model. So I'm going to walk you through 3 things. If you have these and you use them, I promise it will get easier. You want to get to 10 grand a month, you want to get to 20 grand a month, you want to achieve financial freedom, you use these 3 things to do it. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to start with a simple equation here. Okay, so I want you to pay attention. I want you to write this down in a notebook so you never forget this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to understand client acquisition in a very simple first principles formula. Okay. So in order to build an agency and grow it and to be successful, you have to get clients. It kind of goes without saying. So how you do that is with 3 things. So we can look at it like this. So it's V times P times C in brackets to the power of T. So brownie points to anyone who can guess what these initials basically are. But what you can do is you can look at client acquisition and you can look at the growth of your agency and you can boil it down to this equation. Okay, so let's map this out, and actually I'm going to explain what these things are. So the first thing is volume. Okay, most people think they know what volume is, but in order to understand volume, you have to understand maths, right? Volume is basically just doing more of something. It's very simple, but in order for you to achieve success with your agency, volume is probably the most important thing. The other 2 complement the volume, but you have to look at your business as a system. Okay, so you have a system here. This triangle denotes processes in the system. You have inputs into the system and outputs. The input is the volume of outreach that you do, and the output is the money you make. The more of this you do, the more of this you can make. So fundamentally, the most crucial bottleneck and the most crucial choke point in your business's growth will be how much volume you do. What do I mean by volume? How do we define volume? Well, volume is simply impressions of or on your offer. So I define volume of outreach as impressions on offer. So how many people in your niche who can buy from you see what you offer? That, or see your offer, right? That is what volume is. So if 100 people see your offer a day, then you have a volume unit of 100. So a lot of people are like, oh, I do 600 cold calls a day, but only 3 of them answer. What that means is you've only really got a volume of 3. I also see people who do cold emails, and their cold emails don't deliver to the inbox. And they say, oh, I'm sending 200 emails a day, but I'm not getting any responses. Well, if only 1 person's opened your email because it's gone to the inbox, then you've only got a volume of 1. And so with all of these cold outreach systems, we have to determine the difference between volume of intention and volume of impressions on offer. The more people that see what you do, the more people will buy it. It's very simple math, and I know it's painstakingly simple to understand, but these are the things you have to grasp. So volume is impressions on offer. So how many people, right, see what you do? How many people do you present your promise to, or present your offer to, or present your sales argument to every day? And it's not how many cold emails you send, it's not how many cold calls you make, it's not how many cold messages you send, it's how many people those attempts actually receive. Because you can send 100 cold emails, but maybe only 1 person's eyeballs see it. Okay, so I'm hoping you're starting to understand. So volume is the first thing you need. P. So P stands for persistence, right? Now, the problem in the West, as kids, we are brought up to, when you're a child, and if you wanted to get something from your parents, the answer would be to pester them, right? To annoy them, to say, oh, please, mum, can I have this? Or please, dad, can I have this? Or please, but so-and-so's got this. And we go back and forth with our parents 10, 20, 30 times every day, day in, day out, until we wear them down and they eventually give us what they want. The problem is that when you get to school and as you get older, your parents start to get annoyed, your teachers tell you it's the wrong thing, and pestering people or being persistent or insistent on something becomes taboo. And it becomes a behavior that we become conditioned against. And so most people start businesses like marketing agencies where persistence is required. So let me tell you something. We can look at persistence from a volume perspective, right? How many times, after you've got someone's eyeballs on your offer, how many times do you pester them again and again and again? So persistence is kind of like a force multiplier or an exponent to volume. So if you have, let's say you have 10 people, right? Because it's all about impressions, right? So we can look at this from a mathematical perspective. So if we're looking at impressions on offer, because impressions, let's just call this impressions on offer, right? IOO. So impressions on offer, the more people that look at your offer, the more money you can make. It's the most fundamental thing with your business. With acquisition, this is what it boils down to. The more eyeballs are laid on your thing, the more money you're going to make, right? Simple. So with volume, you have this, this ability to reach out to one person and get one set of eyeballs on them. But with persistence, you then have the opportunity to reach out to this person maybe another 3 to 10 times and get the eyeballs on it another 3 to 10 times. So often it's not about how many people see your offer. It's about how many times the same people see it. And I can tell you this is true because I've experimented with this. I've probably sent over 150,000 cold emails. I've probably made 100,000 cold calls in my time. I probably sent 50,000 cold messages. I mean, you name the outreach method, I have mastered it. And now I teach it, so I know this shit is true. And so you need to have volume, but the real value in volume comes from persistence. So that's another thing I want you to write down. The value from volume comes via persistence. The value from volume comes via persistence. So if you reach out to someone, if you cold call them and you take the offer and they say, hey, kind of sounds all right, like I can't talk now. If you don't call that person back the next day and 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 the next day until they either tell you to fuck off or book a call, you're not extracting the most amount of value from the attention. And so an impression, right? So if you've got one person here, right, we want to look at it as if we are extracting value, right, from our prospects. Right, we'll just put extracting value. So this is one of your prospects, right? And you send him a cold email, or you call him. I'm not going to try and draw a phone. Actually, I can just draw a smartphone. Why not? Right, it does not look like a smartphone. But you do something to get this person's attention, and then their gaze, their eyeballs are now on your offer, right? In order for you to extract the most amount of value from this person's attention, you have to contact them over and over again. Because human beings, we aren't very willing to take action on something at the first impression. In fact, one of the leading drivers of action and effect in a human's behavior is familiarity. And so the more someone sees this over and over and over again, the more likely they are to act on it. This is why retargeting works. This is why every time you drive down your high street, you see a McDonald's advert with no call to action. Because these big companies know the more familiar you are with the brand, the more likely you are to act when you don't even necessarily want to, right? So we're trying to extract value from people, and that is what client acquisition is. We are trying to get their money in exchange for value. So we extract value, and in return, we input value through our offer or through our sales argument, okay? So what is persistence? Well, persistence is basically, once again, it's impressions on offer, right? So persistence is warm impressions on offer. So it's when someone's seen your thing and you're just telling them over and over again. And with persistence, we're looking to sort of like graph this out where okay, let me give you an example. In my company, I've got an appointment setter called Will. He's a demon, right? Books like 200 appointments a month. Will has a rule where if someone replies positively to his cold message or cold email or cold call, if they say, do you know what, I'm interested, Will follow up on them at least 8 times over the course of 2 weeks. So once every 2 days, once every day, he's hopping in and saying, hey, I'm just following up. Hey, I'm just following up. Hey, are you still interested? Hi, I'm wondering if you're still curious about this. Hey, I want you to book a call. Hey, I need you to book a call. Hey, do you want to book a call? Hey, are you still interested? Hey, do you want to talk to me? Hey, and it's just like, it's a bombardment of persistence. And so what you're looking for with your client acquisition is a decision from the prospect. and you want one of two decisions. You want fuck off, right? Or you want yes. Okay? This also applies to sales. So if you have a prospect on the fence, they don't buy on the call, if you're not following up on them at least 8 times, you're doing the wrong thing. Because they either need to say, Charlie, I can see you want to work with me. Please just fucking leave me alone, right? Or, Charlie, fine, I'll work with you. All right, you've got me. You've worn me down, right? And so those are the two most important things to acquisition in the get-go. It's volume and persistence. Because, first of all, without volume, nothing works, nothing happens. If you want to get 10 clients, if you do 10,000 outreach and it gets you 10 clients, then if you do 100,000 outreach, you're going to get 100 clients. Client acquisition works in a fractal nature. It's mathematics. It's basic linear math. If you send 10 cold emails, well, probably not in that small enough data set, but if you send 1,000 cold emails and that can book you like 50 appointments, and if you send 10,000, you'll book 500. Do you get the point? Does that make sense, right? Maybe the math is off there. I don't know. So that's volume and that's persistence. So how many initial impressions are you making on the offer? And how many warm impressions are you making on the people you've already made offers to? And these can be people who you've already reached out to, but haven't replied or responded positively. So I'll give you my numbers here. So if I reach out to someone and I know that they've seen the thing, but they haven't responded positively, I'll follow up on them another 3 times, sometimes 4, right? Probably 4. If they reply positively, I'll follow up on them 8 to 10 times, 8 plus, okay? So warm 8, cold 3. The last one, C. So once you've got volume and persistence, this is where you will book appointments. If you do V times P, then this equals appointments, okay? But appointments are half the battle of acquisition, because in order for us to go from appointment to client, right, we need to sell. We need to convert. Make sense? The last thing we need, well, there's 2 more things. I'll explain the last one. I'll explain in a second. The C is conviction, because conviction is very important, because conviction is basically you having confidence and unwavering faith in the fact that the person should work with you because it's within their best interest. That's what conviction is at its purest, rawest form, is you knowing full well, with full confidence, that you can change that person's life and truly help them. Without this, your ability to acquire clients is significantly hindered. Because acquisition, or sales specifically, to take a Jordan Belfort quote, is the transfer of emotion. And so if you're going into sales calls and you've got lots of doubt and anxiety and fear around your ability to deliver, then it's going to be impossible for that person to trust you, because your emotional state will transfer onto them. Now, you're an early stage entrepreneur. You aren't going to have disgusting levels of conviction. If someone gets on a sales call with me about my product, they will leave that call and they will buy. Because I know that what we have, Easy Growth, for example, our product, is so fucking good. It's hard for me to articulate how much I believe in that thing. I know it is fucking brilliant. So when I get a sales call, or my sales reps get a sales call, it's game over. Because the emotion is so strong that it transfers so easily. For you, you might not have a great service yet. You might not have an established proof of concept. So what you need to do is have conviction in yourself and your ability to work as hard as you can, in the event that if a client joins you, you will stop at nothing to get them results. So if you can't have conviction in your ability, you need to have conviction. If you can't have conviction in your ability to deliver, you need to have conviction in your ability to find out how should someone trust you to do so. So let me ask you this. Let's say you were trying to sell me something. You want to sell your services, right? Right now, you're not too sure how you're going to deliver. It's all a bit up in the air. You're a bit confused. You're a bit like, I don't know if I'm going to get results or not. But if I trust you and give you my money, how hard are you willing to work to make sure that I receive value? If the answer to that question is so hard that your skin falls off and that you don't sleep, then you have nothing to worry about on the sale. But if the answer to that question is, I'll try and figure it out, I'll give it a go, I don't know, then you're fucked. You need to basically have so much conviction. Like when I signed my first client, I said to the dude, I was like, look, Ian, his name was Ian, ran a gym in Hartlepool in the UK. He gave me £1,000. And I'll never forget it, ever. I remember when I received the first payment, came through Go Cardless, which is like a direct debit software. And I was sat on my bed in my parents' house, and I had these red LED lights on, and I was on my laptop, and the notification came through. And I couldn't believe it. But I remember on that sales call to Ian, I said, Ian, if you trust me here, if you trust me with your money, I know that I haven't got a huge amount of experience. I know that it might be hard to trust me because I haven't got a huge amount of experience. If you trust me and you share my confidence, I will go to the ends of the earth to get you results. I won't sleep. I won't eat. I will do everything I can. And if you don't get results, I will refund you all the money. I promise. I swear it on my life. But you will, because I'm gonna work every hour in the day to figure this out for you and completely make you so happy that your business explodes. And he trusted me, and guess what I did? Did exactly that. I had no fucking idea what I was doing, but I spent like a week or 2 weeks, 12 hours a day, just so ingrained in this and learning it that I made it work. So, conviction, right? The more you have, the easier it is to sell. You want to have so much conviction that you sound fucking insane. I'll give you an example. So let's say that you're going to join my program, Easy Grow. So let's say you say, oh, I'm not sure, I want to think about it, I'm a bit doubtful. I'd say, look, man, I understand, but this will change your life. If you buy this, it will change your life. I swear it on my fucking life, and I swear it on my family. If you buy this and you do the work and you follow the instructions that I give you, client acquisition will never, ever be a problem for you ever again in your life. I swear it. By the old gods and the new, to use a Game of Thrones quote. I promise you. I promise. I cannot stress enough how well this works and how much you need it. I swear. I promise. That's how much conviction you need to have. You need to be like, look, dude, I feel responsible for you right now. Because where you are right now is exactly where I was. And I've built something that I wish I had when I was your age, in your position. And if you trust me and you buy it and you share my confidence, you will have everything you want and more. I promise. Conviction. It's very persuasive. Buy my course, right? So, those are the three things. If you have a significant volume, which is initial impressions on offer, and significant persistence, which is getting people who have already made initial impressions to make more impressions on the thing, then you'll book appointments. First principles, simple. Once you've got the appointments, all you really need to convert them is the conviction. And there's more to sales than conviction, but that's the main driving fundamental principle is, are you going to this sales call truly believing you can change that person's life? If you are, and you truly believe that, then you have nothing to worry about. The last thing we need to talk about is this little T, because this is the thing that fucks everyone over. This is where most people make the big mistake. The T is arguably the most important thing, because you can have the V, the P, and the C, but without the T, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to give you a second to see if you can guess what it is. It's not titties. Come on, let's guess. All right, it's time. Time is the most important thing for client acquisition. It takes time to build systems. It takes time for volume to create client acquisition has latency, which means the impressions that you make today are the clients that you sign in months. And the sales calls you conduct today might be the clients you sign in weeks. And the people you follow up on today might be the clients that book calls in weeks, that then sign in months. Time is the key to this. And if you have volume and persistence and conviction, but you only have it for a short period of time, you won't acquire clients. And if you're wondering what sort of time frame, I'm talking 12 months. The longer the better. But let me ask you a question. If you output, or if you input to your business as much volume as you can, with as much persistence as you can, and you muster up as much conviction as you can, humanly possibly can, and you do that for 12 months, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to build a successful company. And you're going to have lots of clients and make lots of money. But if you put in as much conviction as you can, and as much persistence as you can, and as much volume as you can, but you only do it for 1 week, well, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing's going to happen, because 1 week is simply not enough time. 1 month isn't enough time. 3 months, you're starting to see some results. 6 months, you're starting to gain some more confidence with the system. 9 months, you think, okay, this is seeming like it's worth it. And 12 months, you're like, God damn, that's worth it. You have to think in year-long time horizons with acquisition, because time is an exponent. V times P times C to the power of T, which means that every single day that passes, every single week and month that passes, the more power and leverage you get from these three principles. And it feeds back on itself. So those are the three principles, and the three first principles you need for high-ticket client acquisition. You could argue that the fourth one is time, so there are really four, but three sounds shinier, so it's that. If you need help acquiring clients, and you're not sure how to do this, this is scratching the surface of what we teach in Easy Grow, which is our program that guarantees 20 clients, right? So we literally guarantee 20 clients in 180 days. If you want to check that out, you can click the first link in the description. You do not have to. I did say at the beginning of this video, I have nothing to sell you. For transparency, that link in the description goes through to a funnel. It's a sales page. So I'm not going to sell you anything here. I'm going to try and sell you something on the funnel, right? So go and check it out if you want to. There's no free training. There's no 997 course. It's up to you if you book a call or not. I truly do not care. All I care about is that you receive the value from this video and you leave this video thinking, okay, all I need is VPC and T. You do that for long enough, you come back to this video in 12 months and you'll be like, comment, thank you, Charlie, I did it. Subscribe, share it. Share this video with someone else that needs it. If you've got a friend in the agency space, like it if you liked it. When you like a video, it helps me because, well, not only it helps me, but it helps you, because if this video actually helped you move towards your goal in business, if you like it, then it tells YouTube that you want to see more videos like this, which means obviously you get close to your goal, right? As opposed to being further away from your goal by receiving old RuneScape videos, which is happening to me at the moment. Hope you have a good day. Take care.